What's up everyone, Ben with the BTC Sessions here, and this is your daily session.
Hodl the Bitcoin.
Guys, today I've got a great interview for you. This is with Mauricio Bartolomeu from LEDN. Now, what is LEDN? It is a platform that allows you to use your Bitcoin as collateral to secure a loan. Now, it takes about 5 minutes to set up. They've got an easy calculator to figure out how much Bitcoin you would require for a certain dollar amount. And all approved loans are fully funded within 24 hours, which is insane. The service is currently just Canadian, but if you are outside of Canada, they do have plans for expansion. So be sure to check out the links down below, play around with it, and follow their social media so that if and when, I shouldn't say if and when, but when they announce expansion, you'll know if it's available in your area. Anyways, I'm not going to talk too much. I'm just going to dive right into the interview. So please do enjoy my interview with Mauricio from LEDN. So hello everyone, welcome to the BTC Sessions. I am here with the CEO. Is that what I'm?
Co-founder and CSO is my actual title, but I'm a co-founder with Adam.
Okay, awesome. The CSO, Mauricio Bartolomeu, and he is the CSO of LEDN. And is that how you pronounce it, LEDN?
Yes, actually, that is.
Okay. Awesome. And so you guys are a platform that allow people to leverage their Bitcoin to get a loan in Canadian dollars, I believe.
Correct.
Okay, perfect. So before we dive into kind of what the service is and what you guys are doing there, I'd love to hear a little bit about you and how you got started in this whole space. What drew you to Bitcoin? What was the factor that kind of pulled you in and got you interested?
Yeah, thanks. Happy to answer that. So as you mentioned, my name is Mauricio. I'm originally from Venezuela, and I say that because it plays a large role into how and why I got interested and involved in Bitcoin. I initially got involved with Bitcoin just over 5 years ago now, and the reason, or I guess the main, what prompted my interest was that my youngest brother had started mining, and he had this idea of purchasing more mining equipment. And so he was working closely with my father at the time. So they approached me and they asked me to review this Bitcoin concept and this idea of investing in mining. And at first, I was a little bit skeptical about it. And then I kind of understood it as I began to understand it more. And I basically thought, okay, that this isn't the video game. This is actually a censorship-resistant currency. And when I started seeing the power that it had in a way that you could transfer wealth immediately, and without really thinking of borders or clearing entities. So that immediately drew me in because through mining, a lot of Venezuelans could earn now sound money that wasn't getting flushed away with inflation every time. And mining, I like to say, went kind of viral in Venezuela when people started finding out that they could now earn, a U.S. dollar type, or even just not a Venezuelan bolivar. It was essentially like discovering the Holy Grail. And so we were one of the first people in our city to begin mining. And the very first guys were doing it very secretly. They were being kind of holding their cards close to their chest, and so we took a very different approach. We helped a lot of people. Anyone that came asking, we kind of pointed them in the right direction and told them how to set up and how to buy things. So we helped a lot of people, but in that process, even though we were helping a lot of people, the system at large was collapsing on itself. And yes, you had the edge cases of people that were using Bitcoin to survive, but largely everybody was having a really tough time. And so once I started to see the kind of effect that this ability to save and this new hard currency had on these people and these authoritarian regimes, like where I was myself a part of, I really wanted to develop something that essentially made it easier for people to hold and increase their savings in this type of hard money. So that was when the idea of creating LEDN came about, which was to basically relieve some of the frustration that came every time that you were saving in this hard currency, but you had a cash need, and all of a sudden you had to get rid of it, sacrifice your highest quality asset because it was the most liquid. And so, you did what you needed, but then by the time you went to buy it back, it was at a higher price, so you didn't participate in that gain. And so we really wanted to make that process a lot simpler for people. And so with our first product, what we developed here in Canada is a Bitcoin-backed loan. In essence, it's your Bitcoin, always your Bitcoin. You put it in our vault, which you can check on chain 24/7, and you get the cash that you need for whatever expense or thing that you need to get through. And the moment you want to pay it down or get your Bitcoin back, you simply pay down your loan and you get the exact same Bitcoin back.
That's awesome. So now, when did LEDN start?
So the idea, like I mentioned, started over 2 years ago when we basically first decided that this was an opportunity. It took us, the company, our first round, we closed our seed round in September of last year, and we underwrote the first Bitcoin-backed loan in Canada as well, shortly after we closed the seed round. And so it started as an idea, I would say, about 16 months ago or so, and then we finally went on full development mode, and now we're basically going out into letting people know about our service.
Awesome. Now, so I'm curious, as a regular consumer, what does it look like when somebody goes to the website and says, okay, I have Bitcoin, I'd like to get some sort of a loan. What does that look like for them? What's the process?
Sure. So we've tried to make this very simple, and we take a lot of pride in what we put together on our site. The process today takes about 5 minutes. And what all you really need to do is you sign up, you provide your name and email, and you say how much you want to borrow. Our calculator basically says how much Bitcoin you need to deposit, and then we provide you with the terms of the service so that you can review everything and make sure we allow you to enter your banking information so that we can deposit the funds once everything is approved. And then you upload a picture of your ID, you upload a picture of or your proof of address, and usually within 2 to 3 hours, we try to go back with a decision, and then all of our approved loans are funded within 24 hours.
Wow, that's pretty good, actually. That seems fast. Wow. Okay. So now, one of the main things, and you did touch on it briefly, but I wanted to spend a bit of time on it. The biggest concern, I think, as a Bitcoiner is, given some of the stuff that's been in the news lately, are my funds secure, and how do I know that? So when somebody wants a loan backed by their Bitcoin, where does it go? How is it stored? How can somebody check on their Bitcoin and make sure it's still there? And what's the process of getting it back when the loan is paid off?
That is a great question. So we understand that custody and security is paramount, and we guard our clients' Bitcoin as if it were our own Bitcoin. So we also understand that rightfully everybody should know where their Bitcoin is at all times. And we take a lot of pride in being incredibly transparent and honest about our vaulting practices. So all of our access to our vault is quite intricate to get to because of the controls and procedures that we've set up. And so everything that we hold is in true cold storage, like entirely disconnected. So we don't, everything that we do and when we sign our transactions and everything that has to do with the transaction happens in a level 3 vault environment. So it is, as you may understand, it is a manual process because it is real cold storage. And so although we create and assign addresses automatically for our clients, the withdrawal process can take 24 hours, give us enough time so we can access the vaults and essentially return the collateral safely to the client. And so when a client comes to our site and applies for a loan, they are assigned a unique address. And that address is not commingled or compounded with any other collateral, is that client's Bitcoin. So from the moment you send your collateral to our vault until the moment you get it back, you can see it at all times on chain, 24/7, either through your node or through a third-party block explorer.
Awesome. And so, and that's actually nice in two ways. One, because you can see your specific amount of funds sitting there and check that. But also that kind of mitigates the risk versus having everything in a singular account kind of commingled. There's a little bit more opportunity cost if somebody wants to try and get their hands on some of the funds that you're holding, right?
Yeah, and also we thought it is what we would like to see from a service, and that's what we produce. And so, it is also a great feature that the coin that you sent, or the UTXO that you send, is essentially the same one you get back. There is no mixing, and you don't get put in other wallets where there might be other UTXOs that came from other addresses. And so that really is the cleanest way, we think, for showing somebody the trajectory of their collateral.
Awesome. Now, when somebody wants a loan, what is the collateral required for, X amount of dollars that you need to have, and how is it affected with the fluctuation of the price of Bitcoin? Like, if it goes up, what happens? If it goes down, what happens, if anything at all?
Yeah, great question. So we lend on a 50% loan to value, and that means that if you have $10,000 worth of Bitcoin, we can advance a $5,000 loan approximately, right? The way the price fluctuations, affect your loan is that if the price of Bitcoin goes down, right, and your loan to value threshold increases, we may ask you to put in more Bitcoin so that we can return your loan to a 50% loan to value. We are in no way incentivized to sell our clients Bitcoin or to margin call or liquidate any of our coins. We make no fees at all doing this, and this is in no way something that a position that we want to put our clients in. We consider this a relationship, and if the price starts moving, or in the event the price starts moving against that client's position, it'll be a conversation, and we will be talking with them way before we need to take action, just to make sure that whatever happens is something that they are fully in agreement with. And then on the flip side, if the price of Bitcoin increases, then we allow you to essentially borrow those additional funds that became unlocked by your collateral increasing, and we would only charge you in that delta. So we wouldn't go ahead and reprocess your loan. We basically let you take advantage of the increase by letting you borrow that additional amount.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Now, I was looking on the website at a few of the, I guess, kind of positives that you put forward to everybody about your service. And one of them is that this is not a taxable event. Can you talk a little bit about that and what advantage that offers to clients?
Yes, of course. So this is not tax advice. I need just to preface it with that.
Yeah.
Consult with your tax advisor. But in essence, when you take a loan and you post your Bitcoin as collateral, you're not selling your Bitcoin. It's still your Bitcoin. So you're not creating a taxable capital gains event if you have a profit built into your Bitcoin, because you're not actually parting ways with the ownership of the Bitcoin. You're simply leveraging it to get a cash advance, right?
Yeah.
And so the way that the Canadian system, the Canadian tax system is structured is that if you put up your Bitcoin investment as collateral and you borrow funds that you then reinvest into your personal business or yourself to earn income, that interest that you pay on our loan can be tax deductible. And so it actually works. You end up turning a potential taxable event into a potential tax credit by basically using some financial planning and basically leveraging some of the tools that the tax system allows you to do.
Awesome. Wow. So now there's one thing I wanted to talk about, just because this is kind of our connection, how I know you. You actually partnered with the company I work for now, Bull Bitcoin, recently.
Yes.
Yeah, so you know Francis Pouliot,
Yes.
and you guys got to talking, and do you want to talk a little bit about what happened with that partnership, how it worked, and how you're working together with my company?
Yeah, it's a great question. I actually had a great chat with Dave and Francis yesterday, and
Awesome.
we are actively exploring incorporating both of our platforms to basically offer uh, Bull Bitcoin clients and Lending clients additional services, right? And the we're working on a lot of things that we're going to basically be announcing shortly that are very exciting. I don't want to jump ahead
Yeah.
and spill the beans, but one of the interesting partnerships that I can talk to is we're basically right now working and testing the Cipher node, which is a piece of technology that you guys have put together, which is great.
Mhm.
And we're using that to create triggers and alerts and automated messaging, essentially for our internal controls. And
Awesome.
we're constantly really constantly always talking about how we can make our two platforms, work for each other so that we can create benefits for the Bitcoin community, really in general.
Awesome. That's
And
that's really cool.
we'll be a Bitcoin rodeo too. We'll see you there.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to meet you in person. So you're coming to Edmonton in March?
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, yeah, I'm really excited for that. I get to do a few things on stage there, and it'll be really great to meet some people from the opposite side of the country. So yeah, that's really great. Now, one of the if people want to go to the site and check out your services, there's a really easy calculator there, right? So they
Yeah.
can just go and check it out. How does that work?
So it's a pretty straightforward calculator. It essentially you get to put in the amount of money that you would like to borrow, and it tells you what the required Bitcoin collateral would be. And then if you sign up and basically just put the same amount, it shows you a summary of all of our terms and their rates. And one thing we take a lot of pride in is we don't play any games with our advertised fees or rates. What you see is what you get. And I say this because there's a lot of noise out there, and people can get confused, especially with lending. There's a lot of fine print going around, and we want to be very straightforward and
Mhm.
transparent, and it's really a no surprises relationship.
Yeah.
So that's really how we like to treat our clients.
Yeah. Now I noticed when you put in an amount, it'll give you an exact amount of interest that you pay every single day. So you have like an expected amount that you pay of interest per day, and it also said, I believe, the what the total monthly interest rate is. Can you break that down a little bit of what they see there?
Yeah, and so the daily interest rate is more for illustrative purposes. So
Yeah.
our loans do not require monthly payments. All of the interest is accrued until one final payment in the end when you decide to get your Bitcoin or close your loan. And so the daily interest, it's there just to show you really how little or how how what your carrying costs for that loan would be relative to the amount that you're borrowing. And so we are constantly working to have the best rates in Canada and the best terms in Canada. We consider ourselves the first, the biggest, and the most trusted lender, and so we want to continue to be that. Um, the daily rate you can see there. You can also see your total interest amount that you would accrue if you take the loan up until its maturity. We show you basically all the pieces of information that you need to make your decision. And again, there are no surprises in the rates and terms that we put forward.
That's really great. Awesome. I might have to dive into that.
Yeah, well, actually, and I didn't actually mention on the rate itself. So we charge 1% a month. And again, that the if you use it for 1 month, you pay 1 month's interest. If you use it for 2 months, you pay 2 months interest. We don't tie you to a specific term. We understand conditions change, so we want to let you take advantage of whatever opportunity you see fit. And if you want to repay your loan after 2 months, hey, that's great.
Yeah.
Take your loan, take your Bitcoin back, and we hope to see you the next time.
That's awesome. It gives a lot of flexibility then.
Yes, and again, we really built this as a product that we would like to have had, and so because time and again we got to that position where hey, should we sell the Bitcoin to pay for X or Y? And we ended up doing it. So as the market rose, we became frustrated trying to buy it again. And so we wanted to let people have that flexibility of getting that cash without missing all the opportunity cost of holding the Bitcoin.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Well, Mauricio, I really do appreciate you coming on to talk to me. Is there any other things and any little bits of knowledge that you want to drop in here regarding the website? Well, I mean, first of all, tell everybody where they can go to find you guys, and social media, anything like that, and anything that you feel that we may have missed.
Yeah, no. Well, the website is LEDN.io, LEDN.io. Our Twitter handle is HODL with LEDN, and my Twitter handle is Cryptonomista. Or you can just search Mauricio Crypto, and you'll probably find me. And things that we've left out, I think, as I said, I'm from Venezuela originally, so what's happening there right now is really close to my heart. And the real driver behind this platform is really to be able to bring North American standard quality and rates of financial services to countries where credit markets were just not readily available and people had really an inability to save. And so now we want to use a Canadian Bitcoin is no different than a Venezuelan Bitcoin or a Turkish Bitcoin. And so we want to extend the same level of service to everyone using their Bitcoin.
So you're saying you have plans for expansion?
Yes.
That's great.
Working very hard on it.
Awesome. Well, so I guess for those of you watching that are outside of Canada, start following, start checking out their Twitter handle, check out the website, because these services may soon be available to you. But Mauricio, thank you so much for coming on, and I really had a good chat with you. I'd love to have you on again sometime.
Definitely. Love to be on again. I'll see you at the rodeo.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So guys, what did you think of my interview with Mauricio from LEDN? What do you think of the website? Is it easy to understand? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, let me know if you actually use their service. And please do check out their links down below. Please do check out their social media. And I look forward to hearing from all of you what you thought about Mauricio. Until next time, I will see you tomorrow on the BTC Sessions for your daily session.